Hello and welcome to Squeeze in English. It's about educating, not just learning. Don't forget to check out the list of today's vocabulary at the bottom of the description below the video. What's more, there is always a link to a book or a YouTube video that inspires me for the episodes. If you prefer just audio version, while you go jogging or when you brush your teeth, please visit Squeeze in English on Google Podcast or Spotify. To find out more about my services, English teaching and coaching, go to Facebook page of Squeeze in English and click on the website link. I also frequently post some vocabulary connected to the episodes on my Facebook page. If you enjoy what you hear, feel free to share, subscribe, and like this stuff. Many thanks, and now enjoy the episode. Episode 14 Microbiome. Why I have 100 trillion friends. You have probably heard about probiotics at least once in your life. Eat yogurt because probiotics are so good for your health. Yes, all these good, friendly bacteria with the funny names like Lactobacillus acidophilus, which kinda sound like a name of a Roman emperor, can be very beneficial. There are billions of them in fermented food. Billions. It sounds impressive, right? Sure, it does. But just until we compare it to a much bigger number. Imagine a battlefield. The massive army of those billions of probiotics just got there. They feel like they are unbeatable. Suddenly, they are shocked. When they enter the place, they see an army which is just unbelievable. They see not billions, but trillions of soldiers. In this case, soldiers are microbes and bacteria, to be clear. 100 trillion. What the hell is this army? It's your own gut bacteria. An enormous army needs a lot of food. You need to feed them well. Of course, with this massive army, you can easily defeat the army of probiotics and take in some of them into your army of microbes. But again, compare the numbers. Billions of probiotics fed by kefir or Korean kimchi versus trillions of already existing microbes in your gut. It doesn't make such a difference. So the key is to feed well what you already have, instead of adding very few, even though billions, new bacteria and microbes from probiotic foods. So the question is, how can I feed such a huge army, trillions of soldiers? The answer is not probiotics, but prebiotics. Do you have any idea what could it be? A normal army would probably get some meat, cheese, eggs, and bread. That is a standard, not optimal though, food for a human, but not for your microbes and bacteria. What they need is fiber. Lots and lots of fiber. Not only 10 grams, which is what we get nowadays in so-called Western modern society. We need 30, 40, or even more grams. And we need variety. We have tendency for extremes. Just read an article about the best prebiotics and you will start to eat it in kilos. That's not a point. By variety, I mean some vegetables, of course. Just count how many different kinds of plant-based foods you eat a week. It can be onions, garlic, and leek in particular. But don't forget, fruits and vegetables are mostly water. Bananas, watermelons, berries, all these great prebiotics. So, what to add? What to eat? The answer is whole grains. For example, oats and legumes, beans, lentils, and so on. The richest foods in fiber. White flour, so normal bread or toast you buy at supermarket, has lost up to 75% of fiber during processing. Each fiber-rich food feeds different bacteria. That's why variety is the key. Add some nuts and seeds as they are specifically great for your brain and so for your English studying too. Or when you want to acquire any other new skills or knowledge. Many of us have troubles with beans, for example, right? Why is that? Because your gut is ruined by years of not eating them. Of course, it would be silly to start eating it all day, every day, but it's really worth starting with them little by little. Also, because of beans are part of FODMAP, FODMAP. It's an acronym and it stands for specific foods that might be hard to digest, especially when there is something wrong with the gut. We all have experienced some troubles at least once or twice with wheat, onions, apples, or cabbage. Please watch the link below to get to know more about this FODMAP. So what's the microbiome from the title of this episode? Why is it called the second brain? It is so crucial for whole immune system. If doesn't work well, it's a main reason of an inflammation. It is easy to ruin it. How? Very easily. Processed food, too much meat or other animal products, sugar, and too little fiber, or basically any plant-based food. That's unfortunately the everyday reality. Do you ever feel weird mood swings or troubles with decision making? It can be messed up microbiome, your gut. Don't forget, it's a second brain. An author, Alana Colleen, in her book 10% Human, claims that, as a title says, we are actually just 10% human. And so what is the rest then? Some monkey genes or some kind of a prehistoric larva from the ocean or something like that? Not at all. It's all kinds of bacteria, viruses, funguses, and so on. If we are only 10% human, who is then craving salty pizza, crunchy chips, sweet chocolate bars, or greasy burgers? It might be unbalanced bacteria who just rule over your rational thinking. That's why most diets don't work, because they overlook the fact we don't have control over our cravings unless our microbiome, remember 100 trillion bacteria, is okay. We said that the Western societies like fiber, but the army is starving. So what happens then? Yes, the worst case scenario. Cannibalism. They start to eat the gut barriers so soon there is a big hole. That's called leaky gut. You can feel it when you have headaches, brain fog, cravings for sugar, or even depression or anxiety. It might not be so obvious overnight, but over the course of years, it can develop into something really nasty. So be friend with all your microbes and bacteria, or maybe the truth is, ask them to be friend with you. Nourish them well. They give you back good health, good immunity, and proper function of your organs. They are like hardworking bees operating 24/7 in a factory which can be either dirty and smelly or neat and clean. The factory I'm talking about here is, of course, your body, or better say, your microbiome. If you like the podcast, please share, like, subscribe, etc. Have a great day. Thanks. Today's vocabulary: a microbiome, the microorganisms that exist in the human body. Probiotics, a food or a pill that contains good, healthy bacteria. To ferment, if a food or drink ferments, or if you ferment it, it goes through a chemical change. Examples of fermented foods are, for example, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, and so on. An army, a fighting force of a specific country, in this case metaphorically means army of your bacteria, unbeatable without a chance to beat it. A gut. It's a long tube in the body of a people or animal, and food moves through it during the process of digesting food. To take somebody in, to provide a place for someone to live or work. To feed somebody, to give food to a person or an animal. A fiber, the part of food that is not digested but that passes through the body and feeds the microbiome. Silly, it's something like crazy, stupid, dumb. An acronym, a word consisting of the first letters of each word in the name of something, pronounced as a word. For example, an acronym DVD stands for digital video disc. An inflammation, a red, painful, and often swollen, so looks bigger than usually. It's an area in or on a part of your body. Nasty, something bad or unpleasant. To nourish, to provide people or living things with food in order to make them grow and keep them healthy. 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, basically all the time, non-stop.